You have reached the public service. Ask yourself one question. Are you a taker or a maker? As with any situation in life, is your situation taking or making you happy? This is a public service show, and I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk.
And today we're going to talk about, are they a maker or a taker? What makes a good relationship, i.e. relatives, work life, neighbors, etc.? There's a great divide in our country. You have educated, creative people that are the building blocks for every civilization. And then you have people that utilize the building blocks of every situation. So,
Are we talking about takers or users? I mean,
well, I would put them in the taker colander, right? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, they do.
And what do we do when the takers have decided that they are going to overuse the makers and not compensate them for their hard work, not compensate them with their due? Because without the creators, we have nothing.
You're right about that. I mean, I don't know. There's always, it just seems to have been in society a certain number of individuals that just can't seem, it's laziness, I think.
Right.
Combination of lazy, know well, and they feel like everybody else is here for their use.
Yeah. Wasn't there a children's story about how the ant colony works really hard for the winter months?
Yes.
And they store things, and then there's other colonies that just come and take instead of storing their own.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a lot of that right now.
Oh, I thought it was A Bug's Life. That was the movie.
Actually, it's a child's story long before the movie.
But I remember The Bug's Life.
Yes, it was cute. But that's actually what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
A lot of takers, and a lot of them don't deserve what they're getting. And I think that it's time for the makers to stand up and say, enough.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what will be inherited if the takers end up overtaking the makers? And I mean, how long would society have to live?
Well, let's just
really,
look
if
at
you think
a
about
company.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
No, you're fine.
Let's just look at a company. Okay, you have an inventor. He invents something. That guy that invented something deserves it. However, how does that get to a product? The inventor goes to a designer. He designs the product out of the mind of the inventor. And they build the prototype together. So the inventor pays the designer, which he deserves. What if, and then phase 3, then it goes to a factory where they make the prototype, test it, make sure it works and everything. And then the factory, hardworking people, form assembly lines and make those products. So somewhere between the inventor and the hardworking people on the assembly line, someone in there decided that the assembly line people aren't worth it.
Yeah.
So let's just eliminate them.
To say the least.
Let's just eliminate them. And how is this person that has this going to get that product? You see what I mean? These people deserve to be paid.
Yeah, I agree.
And somewhere
100%.
between point A and point 4,
right?
B, C, D,
however big the process is,
they decided that these people that are putting this stuff together aren't worth money. I disagree. 100%. Because not only are they building your products, they may even be consumers. So you get them twice.
Yeah, more often than not.
So when we look at things, treat people fairly. That's all I'm saying. Treat them fairly so they can live too. Because they're enriching your life. And you don't respect that. A lot of companies don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. I've got on my.
You're fine.
Oh,
This is what
go
we're
for
here
it.
is
No,
to
exactly.
Get on our stuff.
Isn't that
You
the
know?
way you feel?
I feel exactly
Yeah, I
that
mean-
way, 100%.
If you have,
And we're going to bring to you right now a whole smorgasbord taken. All right, top of the list. Here we are. Trump's trip to and return from China. And he didn't get a deal. No Iran deal. He didn't get any kind of deal. He got nothing. If the tariffs were in place yesterday, they're in place today. And all he did get was thoroughly embarrassed at every turn. Now, let's make sure we're clear on this. He did not go alone. This guy went with the who's who billionaire class of a whole bunch of different companies. And he wasn't there for diplomacy. He wasn't there furthering the, agenda for the United States and the United States and American people. No, he was there getting his buddies hooked up with deals, more billions for him. And I mean, he called the man his friend. I think I heard somewhere 15 or 20 times within a very short period of time. He stood there and withstood Xi Jinping humiliate him on multiple occasions. I mean, Xi, who is an actual educated leader, slimy leader, but a leader nonetheless, but he's certainly smarter than Donald Trump, just undressed him in every way you can be undressed, politically, mentally, with intelligence. It was a real showing for the United States.
Yeah, it was, the disrespect is obvious and earned, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
And he literally threatened him about Taiwan. And he took it between his tails and left. And I have nothing to say about that other than the fact that he represented his billionaire friends well. Not the American people, the billionaires.
Typical.
He went there to represent them, to help them make their deals, and we have an obligation, we've had an obligation before he was in office to help Taiwan.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to happen now, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But you summed it up quite eloquently.
He's leaving the Taiwanese people hanging out to dry.
Not
you're
yet.
right.
Not yet. That comes up at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But we all know how that goes. I mean,
oh boy.
So, next on the agenda is, does Kash Patel work? Let me think. I don't drink alcohol, but apparently he does. And there are a few of them in there that are called the liquor cabinet. And that includes him.
One of the best.
Yeah, I did not. I'm stealing that from whoever coined that phrase. Bravo. So it seems to me that Kash Patel is running the FBI like a play date with his little girlfriend, going here and there in corporate jets. And you know what the gas prices are. And trust me, because I got a pilot's license. So, yeah, that gas is expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
So how do you know? How do you know? What do you know?
The thing I keep going back to, so there's two things. this recent where he had to go up in Congress, and do their oversight, and he's sitting there, and he's looking these people dead in the eye, lying his backside off about always being available, not being difficult to wake up, always being on call, being 100% professional, when his own people, they had to break the door in at this hotel because they couldn't wake him. He was that hammered. Couldn't even banging on doors. I'm sure they were banging for some time before they decided to go busting the door down.
And my understanding is that he uses the FBI to protect the things that he's doing wrong. Instead of protecting us, which is the FBI's job, he's out there using the FBI to go after Trump's enemies and anyone that threatens his little girlfriend, or makes a look at her or protects her. How in the world are my tax dollars going to a wannabe country star that nobody cares about or even knew existed until her drunken boyfriend decided to go into the cocktail hour?
What did you say he graduated? What's his degree in again?
He's a lawyer. He has a law degree.
This kind of goes down your vein of even D students can get there past the bar.
That's really good. And as a reminder, I tell everybody, when you're dealing with doctors especially, keep in mind that not every doctor is an A student. That's just a little FYI for you. Sometimes when you meet a new doctor and he says something off color, remember, you can still get that MD with a D.
People just don't think about
it's
that.
True.
I had no idea. She told me I had to go put my socks back on. They were blown right off. I've been walking this earth and it never occurred to me
That's
that
exactly right.
these professionals we're dealing with, especially the higher ones, were doctors, lawyers, those people who have to have like multiple years of college. We just assume they're all good, but no, they get D's is like
Yeah, the doctor in Florida
like,
just a few months ago took out a liver instead of a spleen. How much do you want to make? I mean, let's make this little wager here that he was one of those MDs with a D.
With a D.
Multiple D's. Wow. So just keep that in mind. I'm not telling you to be, argumentative with your doctor, but question them. I mean, just because they have that skin up there doesn't mean they know everything. Nobody. I have yet to meet a perfect person. And I'm not young. Have you met one? Hell no. Oops. Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
That was really good.
That was perfect timing.
Okay.
Good job,
you too, sweetie.
Okay. My bad. On to okay. This is actually fairly recently. Check this out. Another one of these just absolutely off the ball, crazy ball stories about the upcoming AI data centers. Lake Tahoe residents are getting cut off. All power goes that was going to some local. Let me start this again. All power is getting ready to go to a new coming online local data center. So Nevada-based utility company NV Energy gave residents there a notice that they'll no longer be servicing their power as of May of next year, 2027, because they are going to send all of that power to the AI data center, that doesn't feed people or clothe people or put power into homes so they don't freeze to death. It is Lake Tahoe in the winter. Come on now. It is leaving them with basically a 75% gap. So they get 25% of their power from elsewhere, 75% from this Nevada Energy, and now they're up the creek with no paddle. I mean, this is wilderness, people. There's not a lot up there, and I'm pretty certain I have no idea how they're gonna.
Okay, now I've been to Lake Tahoe. I used to ski when I was younger. So there's a lot of ski places from certain places up Tahoe.
A lot of money up
And and there are a lot of affluent families that live there. However, what is the priority here with these data centers? First, they're taking all the water in Georgia and leaving residents quite thirsty. And now it seems that the power is another commodity that they're taking as well. So without water, without power, are they coming for the food and the roof over your head next? I just, this just stinks to high heaven as people don't matter again. And I'm watching this and I'm telling people it's time to stand up because no water in Georgia, no power in Nevada, or actually Tahoe, an entire city, is going to be 75% light on power. That's just a little bit too apocalyptic to me, people. It's time for you to stand up and say, hey, how am I supposed to, why would I care about a data center when I have no power to watch the television to see what the data center's making?
Isn't that an interesting observation?
I'm seriously.
What a fantastic observation.
No power. So
no computer user for a data center.
How is that data center going to be useful to me? I have no water. I'm dying of thirst here in Georgia. Go do your homework. So how is that data center going to benefit me? Please do put it in a memo and send it to us American people, because I think that every state they are planning on putting data centers in is going to suffer something untoward.
Maybe they assume they can AI up some food.
Well, they better AI up some power and some clean water too, because it was like the fracking that they did in a lot of those southern states. They sold fracking as non-environmentally impacted, right?
Yeah.
And then after they started fracking, they found that wherever they fracked, the land is uninhabitable. The water can never be used. And now they're fighting just to survive in there. They've killed farmland, everything.
Just the word fracking.
Doesn't
just
sound
the way
good.
it doesn't sound good, right? It sounds like the word pain or hurt. It just doesn't ring. It doesn't sound right. So in what world would you not think that pumping water into big caverns underground would not be detrimental? I don't know. Maybe we're just too logical for some of these
It's not
people.
the water, it's the toxins from the fracking.
Yes.
Because they take all of the good stuff out and the minerals, I believe. I really should do my homework on that. But what is left behind
It's not good.
is not habitable. It's not anything that a human can consume, live by, use for any reason.
Yep.
So, okay, we're moving on. Has anyone heard of a charity called Cash for Kids?
I have.
So, a California man took the group to court, saying he donated an old car to Cash for Kids, thinking its value would be used to help underprivileged children. He didn't know the money generated was used to support Hora, a Jewish organization that funds young adults, trips to Israel. An Orange County judge ruled late last week that the New Jersey-based group's advertisements were misleading because they omitted the company's religious affiliation and hid the charity's true mission, which was to get money from suckers and just send people to Israel. For what? So we're paying, thinking we're helping underprivileged children locally, but there was a Jewish community sending people to Israel for maybe to visit family, have a good vacation there, but we were paying for something that we weren't told was what it was.
I am directly familiar. I was a commuter for years commuting. And I'm telling you that this ad was like every fourth or fifth ad on Sirius XM radio. And they had a whole song, a whole jingle, Cars for Kids. I mean, it was just, had this cars. I mean, it was just insane.
Oh my God, do you know this song?
Oh, yes, I do know the song. And first of all, no kids. The young adults. Young adults does not equal kids. So
No.
Cars for young adults, I guess, is, I mean, so just right there, it's misleading. And let me tell you, when you listen to these, every bit of this gives you that St. Jude feeling, like you're helping little children.
Yeah, but they never even mentioned it was a Jewish organization.
No, not once.
So it wasn't about St. Jude at all. It was about
No, I just
stealing.
mean
And I think this is theft. I'm sorry.
It is.
This is definitely taking. So you are an organization, Cars for Kids, and they said they were helping underprivileged children. They didn't specifically say where. So that's a little gray area there. But they never said anything about it is a Jewish religious organization and they're sending people to Israel probably just to visit their relatives or have fun on vacay. That should be our choice with our money, not your choice to omit the truth.
They're sending young adults, not kids.
Well, I'm hoping with
That's
the
crazy.
exposure that a lot more people sue and get your money back, especially if you aren't Jewish.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Let the Jewish people send their own children on vacay. You know?
This one stinks to high heavens. I can't wait to see. I mean, I see that this Orange County judge did this thing, but this is going to get a lot worse. This is just one. When now that people know what this is about, there's going to be thousands of these lawsuits. These people are going to be up the creek with no paddle.
Well, they deserve it.
You bet.
I mean, how dare you use a nonprofit? For one thing, it's a nonprofit, right? It's a charity. It's a charity that took advantage of generous people that were actually trying to help people in their own country. Unbeknownst to them, it was helping a community that wasn't even in our country, which I find despicable.
I do.
So, yeah, that's a nasty no, and I hope this costs you everything, and I hope they pull your nonprofit status because you lied about what you are.
Oh, I think that
tax them.
Considering this is Donald Trump's regime and how he feels about nonprofits.
Yeah.
This
I don't know. I have no. I think this start taxing people, and maybe they'll be more honest. Right, because you use the deception to get money out of people, and I find that despicable. You know, who do we trust now? Is that really a charity? Are you really collecting money for what you say you are? Do I have to do homework? Do I have to hire a PI? What? I mean, this is what this is boiling down to, not being able to trust anybody anymore. And that's why there should be a consequence. So a consequence says, okay, they got caught, so maybe there's not other charities out there doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just an opinion.
Oh, boy. Well, don't worry. We're going from the, what is it, the pot into the frying pan?
Yeah.
Are you eligible for public housing?
Mm-hmm.
We've found out, or maybe we didn't find out, but we now come to understand that the existing rules for public housing was, for decades, as long as families had at least one legal or eligible resident they've been allowed to live in public housing, provided those who are here illegally or otherwise are ineligible due to their immigration status pay, pardon my papers here, pay a full unsubsidized share of rent. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, wants to reverse that. Advocates estimate up to 80,000 people would be kicked out of their homes nationwide under the measure that is a part of President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. They include U.S. citizens, many of them children born in this country, but whose parents were not. So so basically, illegal mom comes over, has baby is citizen, birthright citizenship. They are allowed to apply, qualify for, and be given in tens of thousands, probably, this is probably 80,000 homes, not people. It's probably 1 million people. But they're provided subsidized or often even free housing.
The child is.
The child is. But of course, the parents, the grandparents, the uncles, 6 aunts, and 5 cousins on, whatever side end up living in this home off of the back of, talk about having a job out of the womb. I mean, off the back of this child. Mm-hmm. And we're paying for it. And there's the part that rubs me wrong.
Because that would mean that the mother should work and pay full, and the father should work and pay full, and any other siblings that were brought over here, or grandmother, grandfather. And so our system of housing, public housing, is inundated with people that are not citizens. So they're getting basically free housing.
Yep.
And one community that I read was 94% full. They made the announcement that the Trump administration is going to crack down. It is below 50%. They're moving out. Now, we've got a crisis here, because if you're coming here just for free housing, we have a lot of Americans that are homeless. We have a lot of veterans that could use that housing as well. So somehow it became unfair for us. And they're cracking down. So my thinking is that if we didn't have the kind of homeless situation of Americans that we did, I wouldn't care. But I do. Because Americans are homeless.
Because they are homeless.
And they can't afford to buy housing. So we have to, take care of home first.
We really do. I mean, isn't that what that
our veterans have fought and died?
Whole mantra is taking care of our people first, America first.
Yeah, and our veterans are a large portion of the people out here, because they're not getting mental health and things like that. But I believe that they should be first served when it comes to housing in America. They should be first served. They fought and they have suffered for our country, and coming over here and just having a baby is not suffering for our country.
No.
That's not what American values are.
It's a different sack of potatoes there. Yeah,
I agree. So I firmly believe that our veterans should have first crack, and 100%. Our American homeless should have first crack. A lot of people are working 2 jobs and can't afford a roof over their head.
Living out
and
of cars.
Our homes are full of people who aren't working for our country, who just came here.
Yep.
So we have to prioritize, helping Americans, and then what is left, of course,
Yep. I mean, I wonder how they list that baby's income. I mean, that's got to be in there.
The baby's born. The baby gets food stamps.
WIC, the whole 9 yards.
The WIC, and then apparently housing. So the baby gets all of that. Then the parents move the entire family from wherever country here, and we pay for it.
Yep.
Into free housing.
which of course spawns the whole baby mill industry, which, yeah, there's been quite a few crackdown. I mean, I've
I'm
heard some
not
of those
for that
places been
anymore.
busted.
I'm not for that. I'm just not. The system's been taken advantage of.
Exploited
It's
to the
been
nines.
it's been taken advantage of, and some new law comes out. They know the laws before we do.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I had no clue.
it's not. She's not exaggerating.
I had no clue that any of this until I heard somebody say they get free housing, they get free food, they get free education. I'm like, nah. Oh yeah. Well, that's an enticement right there. Everything's free. The rest of us are working real hard. I get nothing for free. Neither do my children, and neither do my children's children. My parents didn't get anything free, my grandparents. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. So the free, no, I'm not supportive of that anymore because I didn't know. Now that I know, I'm going to do better. So, okay, moving on.
Yep.
On a nice note, Mitch McConnell is retiring. At one point, I thought he wasn't going to make it. He looked very sick and he hit his head and fell down. And I thought maybe that was the end there. But no, evil lives a long time. So I have to say that a lot of the things that we're going through now with our government are because of Moscow Mitch. This man has an undying thirst for money and power. And he has done everything he could to make sure that we are where we are right now.
This guy is a traitor. From my point of view, this guy's a traitor. This is where, I mean, lying equals politics. Politics equals lying is nothing new. There have been jokes about that going back to the Pharaoh's times. But this guy is where all of this began. Where we're at today, this is the first guy that said, you know what, I don't care what the Constitution says. I don't care what the Bill of Rights say. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to break all the rules, and I'm going to do what I want so that I can make sure I get to rig the future. A funny thing, you'd think that these people would at least do some where they can enjoy it. I mean, this guy's had a foot in the grave for who knows how long. And as Sandra said, I mean, I'm just stunned that we weren't reading an obituary, but this guy, this is where it all began.
He's the reason why Merrick Garland wasn't on the Supreme Court, people, and a lot of other crummy people are. So the next time you hear something that you dislike on the Supreme Court, think of old Moscow Mitch and give him a thank you from us as well. And I don't mean that in the nice way, because he played loose and hard so that Merrick Garland could not get on the Supreme Court. He kept delaying and delaying and delaying until Donald Trump got into office, and he gave him 3. And that's why we are where we are.
Yeah,
and a 3-6 split, with 6 of them making a lot of money.
Yeah, 2 of his 3 were rigged. Yep.
So there you go. There you go.
Literally is the difference in the court.
That's exactly right. So think about that. Do your homework. Go, read up on how unwonderful this person is.
Yeah.
Right.
Just unreal.
Right.
Oh, my, we have Trump's ballroom. Yeah. The supposed 200. So first of all, the ballroom that nobody wanted. Hey, thanks for destroying the people's house for your own nasty little individual singular needs. Number 1. And number 2, private donors. What, you own it? Well, you think you own it? You think 25 years from now, your name's going to be on it? You're going to be in it? No. That's the people's. And then it's going to all be privately funded. Well, isn't that interesting that we just saw an ask for $1.5 billion with a B? There are football stadiums that don't cost that much money. And this fool, and to pay for it, he would rather have a ballroom over school lunches. And one final note, isn't it interestingly ironic how all of a sudden some guy comes out of nowhere, storms past one security checkpoint, and we go from the ball with what he wanted to now it's what he's got to have for his security. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I can see a game when I see one, and that was all faked. That was all crap.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have to agree with you. I'm not really afraid. Actually, it's kind of par for the course that everything that we see with these people is a fraud. They lying is a national pastime, and maybe even a religion with these people.
I think it is.
And Trump is destroying our American history. And he's trying to build a bunker like Hitler had underneath it. That's why all the security and stuff like that. I'll tell you what. No. You can try to hide there when, it's time for you to leave. But just keep in mind, though, what can be dug up again. So you can, have 7-inch walls. You think you're going to be able to hide down there forever? Seriously. I think reading should be something that is on your menu, buddy. Because it didn't work for Hitler either. He ended up killing himself in his bunker. And it doesn't look like malaria wants to go with you. The last time I saw her movie didn't do so well. Anyway.
Laura Loomer.
Anyway, not only that, stealing the French Arch.
Oh, the Arc de Triomphe.
I have to kind of, admonish the fact that you happen to be one of the most unoriginal people I've ever seen. He's like, what are they? Hey, you've got something. I want it. Hey, you got something. I mean, whatever happened to getting your crayons out and drawing your own crap? Okay? You got a Sharpie. Use your Sharpie and use your own imagination and stop using our money to do it. Stop lying to us about where the money's coming from. And we know already that when we get rid of you, our coffers are empty, and I don't think there's any more gold in Fort Knox. I just don't. And if I were you, other nations, start getting your money, because somebody has sticky fingers, sticky toes. Be careful. Be careful, people, because I really, really, truly believe that the United States is 100% Baroque, and it's all been stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Every dime.
No doubt about that. It's gone.
It's all gone. And so, our last point. Did Trump say he didn't care? Well, I don't have to read lips on this one because I heard it with my own ears. And even though he has shown that he didn't care, he's now confirmed that he doesn't care about, and let's quote, anybody. So we have someone occupying 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Control of all of our money, control of our military, control of all of our lives, the Supreme Court, the Senate, the House, the entire Congress. And he stood on that podium and said, I don't care about any of you, even though it's your money, it's your country, it's your rights. I don't care. And you know what my response is? I believe you. 100%. For the first time, I actually believe him. 100.
Well, it's just proof now that the earth won't crack when he tells the truth.
Give me some.
I was kind of worried there for a minute. It's like, he finally told the truth. He finally looked at camera, and this, he didn't do it just once. He's tripled and quadrupled down on this one. He's I don't care. I don't care about the American people. His sole focus is Iran getting a nuclear weapon, and I have my own opinions on Donald Trump and nuclear weapons. We'll leave that for another time, but he came right. I don't care. And, I was mentioning to Sandra before the show, is the one thing that isn't getting enough play is I guess it was a day or two after that, some reporter asked J.D. Vance about it, and he literally said he did not say that. Meaning, he made the statement, he did not say that. Not as in an incredulous, he didn't say that, really? No, he did not say that. He was telling that reporter, all the people following him, and everybody looking at the screen that Donald Trump did not say that he didn't care about Americans.
And then right after that shot, they played him saying it again. And it's interesting because
unreal.
We all kind of taken aback by it again, and we have to say that, it's a religion to lie. Their religion is to lie.
Really
but you know
is.
what about, you mentioned Iran. And I want to say something to you people. This Iranian war was a steal for Donald Trump's friends. It's not what you think. What is happening here is they are stealing our money hand over fist, giving contracts to friends that aren't really doing anything. Now, keep in mind that we can trace all of this money. The only person that is exempt for now is Donald Trump. But all of these people that are taking these no-bid contracts, because there are laws against this, taking billions of dollars and just pocketing it, we can get it all back. We can take every dime these people are stealing from us back. They have no immunity whatsoever. So I was upset about it until I heard some lawyers say, fret not, because they have no immunity. And they are taking billions. Like if a contract for, say, some sort of metals that they needed for armory or something like that is like $50 million. They're taking $3 billion, whoever it is, instead. That's how they're fleecing us. Somebody started telling, and of course, they hid them, but mark my word, it'll come up again.
I don't, we have these conversations and, all the time. And one of the reasons for the public service show is because we got tired at yelling at the TV.
That's right.
And, what gets lost in all this is that they steal the money, they rip it off from healthcare programs, children programs, food programs, you name it, across the gamut. And they take, and yeah, we're going to get it back, but we're going to get it back for some of us, because unfortunately between now and then, how many people die because they didn't have the proper health care? How many people die because they didn't have food? How many people died because they were exposed to the elements because they didn't have housing? How many people are getting sicker and sicker and sicker because they don't have the gas money to get to the doctor if they have one, or they can't take time off because it's a crusty, hourly rate, low rate job and they're working 3 of them. People's lives are ebbing and changing and being impacted in immensely negative ways. And we all know this, but sometimes I think that the media fails to narrow it down to some very specific things, like just making that statement once a week. Hey, we really realize what's going on here, and this is what they're doing, and yet we'd like to get to here, but every so often you get a puff piece, but those are they almost feel disingenuous than to just pick a local elementary school, walk in there and say, well, how many children didn't get to eat lunch today because some numbnut wants a ballroom and he cuts off the kid's food program?
You are so correct, and that was very, very well said. If you want I can simplify it even more. The majority of the people in this country that are paying this tax money are minimum wage earners, women, with children, most of us, right? Minimum wage earners are the entire support system for our government because there's more of us, more of them. Mm-hmm. So you just think about that poor minimum wage person that's barely making it right now with gas prices so high, food costs so high, maintenance on cars, on and on and on, child care. That minimum wage person is paying more in taxes than any billionaire in this country because they don't pay any anymore. That's been wiped out. So you just think about that as they're stealing our money, like we can just make it willy-nilly. And that's what people need to understand. You guys, you're making $40,000 a year, which is nothing.
Yeah.
In this economy, it's nothing. And you're paying $6,000 or more in taxes. And they're just throwing it away. I'm going to paint that pool over there. I'm going to build an arch. How about this? I'm going to destroy this building, billions of dollars. That means exactly what you think it does. He said it. He doesn't care if you don't have enough food. He doesn't care if you have a roof over your head. He doesn't care if your kids have shoes or a coat. He does not care. And he has the entire support of the Republican Party in Congress. So, since they're not saying anything, you are right to assume that they also don't care. Just my opinion. If you're not out there saying nay, then you're just saying yay.
I like that ending. That was good.
Right on.
I'm spent. I can't.
It is. It's very difficult.
It's taxing.
So we did a show basically on takers. China trip, help the billionaires, takers. Kash Patel, his little girlfriend, taker. Lake Tahoe, y'all better figure out some solar or something, because sounds like you guys have some problems.
Yeah, I got some takers.
Cash for kids. Surprise! Surprise! It's not what you think it was.
Taker.
Public housing was supposed to be for not good. Mitch McConnell, thank you for the Supreme Court. The ballroom that we didn't ask for. And yeah, they don't care. And this has been a public service show. Examine the things in your life. Are they taking or making you happy? Are the people in your life taking or making you happy? Make those hard decisions.
Yeah.
Change things. Right, Ben?
Yep. Go to thepublicservice.org.
Yes.
You'll find all the information there you need. Hit us up on the message board. Please use the message board.
And I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk. You have been watching a public service show. America is part of a global community. Sandra and I are well aware that the American experience had the hope for freedom. America isn't perfect by any means, and we are currently having our freedoms tested. Here at the Public Service Show, we're going to look at how and why we're at this point in America.